Good morning everyone, my name is Dodds. Welcome to part 5 of episode 91 of Dodds Diaries. Today is Friday the 23rd of July, it's now 5 to 9 and my 5th day here in London. Pretty much like the rest of the holiday now, just going to be staying in London now. This morning I'm going to go over to the City of London area. I'm going to try and knock off some more stations today. This morning I'm going to go to Liverpool Street and Fenchurch Street station. Might look at doing King's Cross and St Pancras. And also I need to try and get to the shopping areas like Oxford Street, Carnaby Street. I want to try and get into Harrods at some point. I can always get in Harrods at some point today or this weekend. Now, so far, up to now, I've had a fabulous week. And whenever I've gone train spotting, staff have been brilliant at every station. Today though, it might get a little tougher. After all, Liverpool Street station in the past has been a hit and miss. It's obviously been much improved, staffing wise, with enthusiasts since like 2011. But obviously you just never know. It is after all in the City of London financial district area. Fenchurch Street, that is going to be a hit and miss station this morning. It's obviously not Network Rail managed anymore, it's C2C, and their staff there I know have been hit and miss. I think I nearly got refused in 2015, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen today. Just going to go and get a few things and then head out. It's another sunny morning out there. Today though is meant to be the last of the sunny days of the week because the weather has to change this coming weekend. Still going to be humid, like 20 something degrees. But today is going to be the last of the hot weather, so, well, the last of the sunshine, so I pretty much timed it right, getting to the seaside resorts of Bournemouth and Brighton this week. Right, onwards and upwards. Right, so I go this morning. I'm going to walk to Queensway Tube Station, grab on the Central Line, it takes to Liverpool Street. And we'll see how the rest of the day goes. Right, here I am in Liverpool Street Station in the City of London. This is around in the Bishopsgate part of it. Signed in, no problem. Now, since I was here a few years ago, new trains. Also now, London Overground now take over services, some of the services. So that's the class 710s. Got the Greater Angular class 745s. Yeah, no longer do we have class 90 and Mark IIIs. Now these take over services to Norwich up the Great Eastern Main Line. On the other half of the station is the Crossrail services. So that overground train is going to, I can't really make out. Signed in, no problems. I'm going to do about 45 minutes to an hour here. So all the trains here go underneath Exchange Square, which is just above us, and then round the corner from here there's a platform which is the old Bishopsgate station. Them Class 321s are nicknamed Dusty Bins after the game show 321. Looks like one part of the train is like fully refurbished, but the other half doesn't look fully refurbished. Had two different types. One half had a different type of seating to the other. Right, I'm going to go and finish sign out here. So 2 dusty bins, class grade 2 ones here. One of them is a full length train, the other is a 8-car length. I'm going to go to Fenchurch Street next. Hopefully I will get on there. I just got off at Tower Hill station behind us, which is where you get off for Fenchurch Street, because Fenchurch Street does not have a direct link to the underground. We're pretty much now within the City of London area. And once I've done in here, we'll take a look at some of the big buildings in the financial area. Alright, so Fenchurch Street is another one success. I've got a badge here. The staff are alright here, they are like a little firm, but just do what you normally do, go and ask and sign in, and that's it. This is just served by class 357 C2C trains from Southend and Sherbriness. So after I've done here, I will then go and do some sightseeing. So that's going to Sherbriness. That'll pass through the east end of London, West Ham, and then head towards Dagenham and Upminster, by Barton Upminster, then on towards Southend and Sherbriness. Just to the right there, that's the DLR, which if I have time, I will hopefully go on in the next few days. So I'm now walking around the City of London area, one of the world's leading financial centres, and there are many tall buildings here. This here is what's nicknamed the walkie-talkie, because it's shaped like a walkie-talkie, and that looks stunning indeed. I'd like if my house was at the top there. This is a place where a lot of decisions are made, a lot of financial decisions. There's a lot of money, a lot of millionaires around this part of London. If only I was one of them. And so right in front of me is the Gherkin, alongside one of the many churches, I believe built by Christopher Wren, who designed St Paul's Cathedral. This here is nicknamed the Cheese Grater because it is like a cheese grater. These are massive. Now I'd love to go at the top of that restaurant, just up there. Some other big buildings here. This is actually the Lloyd's building, right behind us. Just imagine your daily commute working in one of these offices, one of these buildings. I think everyone here will earn a serious amount. I'm enjoying it round here. However, it's a lovely sunny day with a nice breeze. I think at the spur of the last moment, there is one more seaside resort which I'm going to go to. I've never been before. I think I'm going to have a ride to Southend. We'll go along the sea-to-sea line. We'll catch the train from Fenchurch Street. Right, on the 1304 Sherbrooke service, and I'm going to go to Southend. Fenchurch Street.
The next station is Limehouse.
Tower Gateway DLR. Canary Wharf just up there in the Docklands. And we come up to West Ham next, which is a popular football team. Change for the Jubilee line. What we also do is run alongside the District and the Hammersmith and City tube lines. So this is pretty much all the east end of London we're coming through. That's just coming through Bromley now. Bromley by Bow. We just left Barking.
The next station is Upminster.
1, we're just past Dagenham. This is Upminster, the terminus of District Line, the eastern terminus.
The next station is Westmont.
Could also go from Upminster to Romford on the overground.
The next station is Chalkwell.
That is actually the Thames estuary over there. We're now actually in Essex.
We are now approaching Chalkwell.
Alright, okie doke. So here I am in Southend-on-Sea, Essex. The only way is Essex. My first time here. Over there, that's the adventure playground. And this is what a lot of people know Southend for, Southend Pier. I think this is the longest in the country. It's got a little train that runs on it, and I'm probably going to go and have a ride on that all the way to the end down there. Now, we're not actually on the North Sea, we are actually within the Thames estuary. So that way then is the River Thames. That'll take you back to London. And just across from here, just having a look now. Just across from here, towards the left, you're heading towards Sheerness, and further, I'll zoom it out. So further in the distance, you head towards Sheerness-on-Sea, and then places, and then you've got places like Whitstable, Herne Bay, and then Margate. So Kent on the very end of there. I had no plans to go to like Kent this holiday, but another holiday I could consider the southeast of England. I'm only going to be here for a couple of hours, 2 or 3. I thought the sun has pretty much gone now. It's a lot more cooler than what it has been the rest of this week. It's now clouding over as well. To be honest, I'm so glad things are starting to cool down. It's a shame it has to rain over the weekend. I'm going to probably spend a couple of hours here before I head back to Fenchurch Street. Now, train spotting wise, I'm not actually going to, I don't actually plan a video here in Southend. There are 3 stations. The 2 main ones are Southend Central and Victoria. Central is the sea-to-sea line, and Victoria is where you get trains that go to and from Liverpool Street station. But there's not ticket barriers, so I'm not actually planning to do any spotting here. And besides, thankfully, I've already done Liverpool Street and Fenchurch Street today. And the other one is Southend East, before you head towards like Fort Bay and Sherbriness. Hey, this is, I've been living the life of a Londoner this week. By living in the capital for a week, and I've gone to Bournemouth, and gone to Brighton as well. Now I've come up here. Popular places with Londoners, just like here. Right, I'm going to go over this way. Okay, I've walked further east along Southend. So this way, that takes you towards Fort Bay and Sherbriness, and that is the North Sea that's out there. And then all the rest of this is the Thames estuary before it goes into the River Thames. It's a nice beach. Again, a lot of stones and that around. You're probably better off wearing your shoes when you're on a beach like this. Yeah, it's much cooler today than what it has been the rest of the week, which is, I'm glad, it's what I wanted. That is a long pier. I'm going to go on that once I walk back down. Right, over there is Adventure Island, and now on the train that'll take me along the world's longest pier. And so here I am at the very end of Southend Pier, the world's longest pier, at least 1.3 miles long. So I am on the Thames estuary, and the North Sea is out that way. All that, Sheerness-on-Sea and like a lot of Kent is just across there. Like Canterbury is like within land somewhere nearby. And this is heading west to take you back towards London. I'm having such a lovely day today. Definitely make the most of my holiday. This is probably like a once in a blue moon opportunity for me to come here, and now I've done that. That train I just got took about 7.5 minutes, and it'll be every half hour to take us back down to the shore. It's definitely worth a visit in the summertime. Right, so I've been on the pier to see how far that goes out. That goes out a good mile and a half now. It's come 5 o'clock and the tide is, you can see it's now going right the way out now. That was right the way up earlier on. This is Adventure Island, which is the largest free entry theme park. Obviously there are bigger theme parks, but all them you have to pay to go in. The whole seafront stretches right across there. This is a lovely seaside resort, and I've really enjoyed it round here. Right, next, I'm actually going to walk up to Southend Victoria Station, see if I can maybe just get a little session there. Hopefully Greater Anglia will be alright, and then I'll go back to Southend Central and then jump on the sea to see back to Fenchurch Street. So I've made it onto Southend Victoria Station, where trains every 20 minutes run to Liverpool Street Station. Now, I did ask the ticket barrier lady to go through, and I was let through. Unfortunately, I've had my first little, well, I wouldn't say telling off, but just a little bit of advice. Basically, I went down the other platform, and then I got told to go back and come back round to this one. It wasn't a job's worth encounter, but he did tell us. So at this station, do what the staff obviously tell you, and that's what I did. So, basically come on the platform where the train is going to and from. But otherwise, Greater Anglia, they're absolutely fine. Right, I think I'll head straight back to Southend Central. A couple of reasons. Well, that one, it's Victoria, it's only 321s from Liverpool Street. And number 2, staff, well, alright, but just not the best. So I think going back to London I will. So we'll pass the Victorian Shopping Centre and then down the street to the station. No, that wasn't a job's work encounter, just to point out it wasn't. It was mainly enough telling off. I said so. And he said no worries, mate. Well, that was good. It wasn't. If I'd been booted off, it would have been a job's encounter, but no. It was not that.
Westminster, Barking, West Ham, Limehouse and Fenchurch Street. We are now approaching Leigh-on-Sea.
Right, we're at Barking and we're stuck here. The future is blocked down at West Ham. So I'm trying to think what to do. Stay on this or go on the tube. Right, it's 20:07. Finally, I'm back in London now after a clot on getting back from Southend. Broken down train at West Ham caused delays, cancellations on the sea-to-sea line, and then jumped on a tube district line, and then onto Hammersmith and City line. I've got the Hammersmith and City line back to Euston Square. Now I'm here. Now I'm hoping I don't have a repeat what happened in December 2019 when I was here at Euston Station. But once again, Network Rail have told me that I don't have to sign in. I'm only going to be here for about half an hour or so. Anyway, we've got the Caledonian sleeper train just over there. That'll go up to Inverness. Parts of it will go to other places. Then we've got 350 and a Voyager and 2 Pendolinos and another 350 just down here. Right, want to ride Clarton, and then once I'm done here, I need to go and have something to eat. So I'll head back towards more of central London.
2013 London North Western Railway service to Birmingham New Street via Northampton, calling at Leighton Buzzard, Bletchley, Milton Keynes Central, Wolverton, Northampton, Long Buckby, Rugby, Coventry, Canley, Tile Hill, Berkswell, Hampton in Arden, Birmingham International, Stechford and Birmingham New Street. This train is formed of 8 coaches. Due to a short platform, passengers for Stechford should board the front 4 coaches.
So not only is this the terminus of the West Coast Main Line, also I think they're building HS2. It's supposed to be building High Speed 2 around here. You can also do this route from Birmingham New Street down to here on Train Simulator with West Coast Main Line South. Not via, you can't go via Northampton though.
Luggage unattended on the station. Luggage left unattended may be removed without warning or destroyed or damaged by...
Please, could you please make your way to platform 12 as soon as possible, please? Thank you.
Marston, Stonebridge Park, Webley Central, North Webley, South Kempton, Kenton, Harrow and Wheelstone, Headstone Lane, Hatch End, Carpenter's Park, Bushy, Watford High Street and Watford Junction. From the 2056 Avanti West Coast service to Manchester Piccadilly, calling at Milton Keynes Central, Stoke-on-Trent, Macclesfield, Stockport and Manchester Piccadilly. This train is formed of 11 coaches. Opt for the free station Wi-Fi by selecting hashtag free station Wi-Fi to Please travel in the rear coaches of the train for Pampura, These coaches of the train from Inverkeithing, Kirkcaldy, Lucas, Bunting, Carnoustie, Arbroath, Montrose, Stonehaven and Aberdeen. Please travel in the front coaches of the train from Stirling, Dunblane, Gleneagles, Perth, Dunkeld, Pitlochry, Blair Athol, Dalwhinnie, Newton Moor, Kingassy, Ballymore, Carbridge and Inverness. Platform 1 from the 21:15 Caledonian Sleeper service to Fort William, Aberdeen and Inverness. Arnwood and Roy Bridge are request stops, and passengers to these stations should ask the conductor on the train to arrange for the train to stop to allow them to alight.
Right, I'm going to finish it here. I could stop and watch the Caledonian Sleeper go out, but I'm starving. I haven't had my tea yet, and I just want to get done. This time I've had no trouble at Euston Station, unlike 2019. Normally you get a lot within like a space of 20-30 minutes, but because it's more later evening, there's some bigger gaps between trains. I had to notice starting building work on HS2, and I think that they might demolish the top of the station here. Right, onwards and upwards. Right, I'm going to go to Euston Square Station because I'm going to go and have a look at Baker Street.
Metropolitan Line train to Uxbridge. The next station is Baker Street. The next station is Baker Street. Change for the Bakerloo, Circle, Hammersmith and City and Jubilee lines.
Mind the gap between.
Okay, it's 20 past 10. I'm on Marylebone Road. Baker Street tube station's just over there, and also the Wetherspoons, or the Metropolitan, that I've just been in for me dinner tonight. Here is Madame Tussauds Waxworks. Used to be the London Planetarium. I don't know if it's still called that, but anyway, that's there. Famous Waxworks. So real figures in wax. For example, there's one of them in Blackpool. So Marylebone Station is along near here, which I'll go to tomorrow. And another street I'll show you just round the corner in just a second. And of course, here is the other street that is famous for Sherlock Holmes, of course. It is Baker Street. This is the northern end of the street. You go further up north, takes you to Regent's Park, and also Lord's Cricket Ground is up there as well. Now in fiction, Sherlock Holmes was based at number 22B. Now I'm going to walk more of Baker Street, which is this way. Now when you walk along Baker Street, there's also one song that should pop into everyone's heads right now. It is of course the song Baker Street by Jerry Rafferty. It's well known for that saxophone riff at the very start. A fabulous intro to a song. And if you want to learn all about Sherlock Holmes, you've got the museum here at number 221B. I'm enjoying this walk, burning off my dinner. Now what I'm actually going to do is continue south along the rest of Baker Street and then walk down Park Street, and then it'll actually bring us out just near Hyde Park, and then I'll get on the Central Line tube at Marble Arch, and it'll just be then literally a couple of stops to Queensway. I don't know what it'll be like for us getting around on the tube tomorrow, because some lines I think will be shut. I'll only have to find out tomorrow morning. And I can see clouds coming over. I tell you, I am not looking forward to the wet weather, or whatever weather's due to come tomorrow. This is what has been lovely about London, about having a holiday. Normally I wouldn't have the time to do walks like this around the city, because normally everything I do I usually pack into one day out. So whether it's a few attractions, go to a few stations, normally just crammed into one day, but at least by coming down for a week I've been able to space everything out, which has given us more time to see everything and enjoy the wonderful British capital. Right. And even though everything's pretty much reopened, parts of London, a lot of the tourist attractions, in my opinion, have been much quieter than usual. That's because of the absence of international tourists. In fact, I think I've hardly come across any international tourists through this week. That's due to the COVID pandemic restrictions on non-UK citizens. So when I get down to the end, when I turn right, that'll take us just next to Hyde Park, and that will be where Speaker's Corner will be. The 113 bus to Edgware. Right. I'm actually coming up to Oxford Street, London's main biggest shopping street. This is Selfridges, just passing the big M&S. So a lot of these stores here will be flagship stores in the country. I'm hoping tomorrow or Sunday I will have a look along Oxford Street and see if I might get anything. West part of Oxford Street, which up ahead is Marble Arch and Speaker's Corner, just off Hyde Park. Once I get here, I will turn back round and walk all the way back along Oxford Street to Oxford Circus. And I will do that instead of catching the number 7 bus, which is what's just up ahead. So, right next to the Marriott and Oxford Street, here is the impressive looking Marble Arch, which dates back to the 19th century. So down here is, somewhere down there is Speaker's Corner, on the very tip of Hyde Park. Obviously it's too dark for me to try and see anything, and like the Serpentine and that. I'm hoping to do that tomorrow or Sunday. Just off Cumberland Gate, and also just off Park Lane now. Park Lane is another street on the Monopoly board. In fact, it's in the blue alongside Mayfair. So I'm now going to walk back along Oxford Street to Oxford Circus Tube before I go back that way to Queensway. Just coming up to Bond Street Tube Station. That's where I am, just up there. Of course, many famous shops, brand names along here. I've passed Selfridges, Primark, and here is his master's voice, which of course is HMV. Now passing the sad sight of what is the closed Debenhams store now. This was their flagship store. So I'm past Bond Street Tube Station. So if I continue along, will be the Central Line. And I will end up at Oxford Circus. We're passing House of Fraser and the massive John Lewis store. What must have all this been like during the lockdowns? Especially the first one. Pretty much all of London was very, very quiet. And so I am now at Oxford Circus, the very top of Regent Street, and it looks absolutely stunning lit up at night time. I've really enjoyed this walk. We'll get back on the tube to Queensway, felt a spot of rain, which is a sign of what could be to come tomorrow. Right, back at my hotel. It's now 20 to 1 in the morning. It's now Saturday morning. I'm going to end today's part of my holiday. Today's been another good day. Got some more stations ticked off in London. Liverpool Street was terrific. Fenchurch Street, which was the one I was the most nervous about, being sea to sea run. They are strict but firm, but at least they are alright, but the staff are strict. Fenchurch Street, just go to the information desk and that's where you sign in there. Obviously Fenchurch Street was just the the sea to sea class 357s. Liverpool Street, I got a closer look at Greater Angula's new 715s. Well, anyway, their new trains, what go from like Norwich down to there and to like into Colchester and Clacton-on-Sea and Southend and all that. So obviously no more class 90 and Mark 3s out of Liverpool Street now. So like the London Overground trains and the Crossrail ones as well. Looked around the city of London, massive tall buildings. I could probably see some millionaires walking around there, and a lot of big decisions get made in that financial district. A lot of money changes hands. A lot of things change hands in there. So like the cheese grater, the gherkin. Did I say Heron cheese? Heron Tower? I probably would have. So the gherkin, the cheese grater, the walkie-talkie, and that is a city that's continuously developing. They build more and more big buildings. And because the weather was nice, just on the spur of a moment, I decided to make one more seaside trip. I decided to take my first ever trip into Essex. So I went along the sea to sea line to Southend-on-Sea. A nice ride, just an hour's ride away from Fenchurch Street. And obviously I got off at Southend Central. After that it continues to Southend East, Fort Bay and Sherburness. I thought Southend was a nice resort. Well, the beach is not as nice as Bournemouth and Brighton, but a massive atmosphere to it, like lots of amusements, including that Adventure Island fun fair. It's actually free to get in that, and also it has the world's longest pier at 1.5 miles long, stretching right the way out along the Thames estuary. You can see Kent across the Thames from there. So I've got the little train what goes along the pier back and forth. Paid a few quid for it. Takes about 7 and a bit minutes each way. The good thing is, at least, the weather was a lot cooler today as well. I think all the good sunshine I've been having is pretty much long gone now. So going back, I went up to Southend Victoria Station just to do a few shots. Now, Greater Angula, at this station, well, I was not Jobsworthed, no. I went, actually asked the staff member on the barrier, she let us through, went down one of the platforms, and straight away I got told to come back. He wasn't nasty, no, wasn't a Jobsworth, he didn't kick us off the station, but he was quite firm. So it's a station where you have to obviously do as you're told, but at least he let us carry on by going onto the other platform. There mustn't enthusiasts walking down platforms where there are no trains arriving and departing. Obviously I said sorry, but thankfully he was absolutely fine in the end. So I only did a couple of shots there because all it really was just class 321 dusty bins going out, and I'd already got some at Liverpool Street beforehand. Came back from Southend, and what a bloody clot on it was. Train was noisy and that. Got to Barking, and unfortunately all the trains were stopped there because there was a failed sea-to-sea train at West Ham that was causing delays and cancellations because it blocked the line. I had no idea if I was going to get back into Fenchurch Street or not, although by the time I made my mind, got off the train, there were a couple of trains going in, but obviously very slow in that. And because no trains are able to go in, it would mean none would be able to come out. So I bailed out at Barking and then jumped on the tube train, a couple of tube trains, and then my plan was to head to Euston. I actually went on the district line down to Bow Road, anyway, and then changed onto the Hammersmith and City line that would take us via Aldgate, Liverpool Street, Moorgate, and back to Euston. Euston station was good. Now, once again, I go to Network Rail reception, and they say you don't have to sign it. Obviously, I did ask them, did tell them what I was doing. They didn't give us a badge or anything, so that made me fear a repeat of December 2019. So I went down the same platform. At least this time, I wasn't challenged or anything. No one came up to us. So straight on with that, I was. It looks like work on HS2 is finally getting well underway, and refurbishing of the station, I think, is getting underway as well, because it looks like they're starting to rip all the top bit off the parcel, Red Star parcel. You can see some of the concrete from the side of the station that was starting to come down now. I think they've closed off one of the platforms and they're going to build the new HS2 platforms next to it. So after Euston, went to Baker Street, known for Sherlock Holmes and the song Baker Street. Had me dinner in nice Wetherspoons actually, called the Metropolitan, named after the Metropolitan line, which is of course the world's first underground railway. Goes back to the tube goes back to 1863, the world's first rapid transit system. And I did another one of my late night walked all the way down Baker Street towards Oxford Street, walked along to the top of to like Park Lane, like just near Speaker's Corner, and then back along Oxford Street. Doing these late night walks in London, it's really good in the city centre. Good for fresh air as well, with the weather being light as it is, even better. And then Oxford Circus back at Queensway. Right, tomorrow, Saturday, it will be part 6. Firstly, the weather, I know, is going to change tomorrow. Apparently, we're going to be getting some bits of heavy rain and some thunderstorms are apparently due on the way. But what I do have booked tomorrow is I'm going into the London Transport Museum in Covent Garden for the very first time. But to go in there at 10:30. And I will try and get the last 3 stations ticked off: King's Cross, St Pancras and Marylebone. And try and look around Oxford Street, try and go to Harrods, and that is still candy bit for me to do between now and Monday afternoon. Thank you for watching this part, and I'll see you tomorrow, part 6. Good night.